whether you're in a restaurant or you're an official, you serve. With my 4 bars as a captain, I still serve. And we're in the service business. The world is about service, period. So it's
I
not a
agree.
hierarchy. Yes, you have that in your command chain, right? It's about service. And you have to have that mental state to go out and serve. So you need to be prepared so when you step into this industry that you're willing to scrub toilets because that's where it begins, right? Or scrub the deck. And then you move up. I'll scrub a toilet. Even today, if they're in the weeds, I'm in there cleaning the toilet. So it's not always so glamorous because we have to do that. But then you have the glamour side where you're creating these wonderful tablescapes like Bugsy. Like she's made a career out of this. She has a book. I love watching her Instagram. She's so creative because that's the beautiful side. And then she goes downstairs and cleans some toilets. You know what I mean? So the reality is like we have to have that mentality to know we have to do what we don't like to do to be able to do the things that we like to do. There's always that yin and yang in whatever career you're in. And this industry is a wonderful industry. It's where the budgets go increase, they don't decrease. That's one thing I've found over the years. Budgets rarely decrease in the marine industry, they increase.
Wow. I mean, I love my job. I would have been good in the marine industry because I mean, there's a lot of things I probably wouldn't be good at, but I'm very much like, I don't care how it gets done. I just need like in 2 hours this to get done. And if no one's going to do this, I really don't care. I'm just going to roll up my sleeves and do this myself. I just need it done. I'm so that type of mentality.
I love what you just said. I need to get it done and in 2 hours. So you put a time on it. I love that. So in your mind, I got 2 hours. I'm going to smash this out, right? That's what I always say to the crew. Don't look at this big mess and think, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Look at it and go, I'm going to do this in 2 hours. I'm going to do this. Give yourself time limits, right? And that's what it is. It's boxes of time. And if the crew and people think more like you, life would be much easier for them,
Yeah.
not
Granted, I
so
mean,
overwhelming.
yeah, no, I mean, I've always been this way. It's just like, let's get it done.
Yeah.
What do you think is like a misconception about the maritime industry from below deck?
That it's restaurants, cash all the time, drinking. The reality is our show after every charter, our charters are so short that, yeah, they go out for dinner. In the real charter world, they don't do that. They go to bed. The reality is they know they have another charter coming up. They may go out for sunset drinks after a charter. They turn that boat around. We try to provision the same day we turn it around and and then get the final provisions the next day. But typically they rest, and it's not going out to dinner and drinking all the time. No one drinks on while we're on charter. That's obviously you can't do that. However, but the other side of it, the dynamics and the personalities, for sure, the conflicts, you're going to have that because you're all living together. The hookups, the breakups, the meltdowns, the firings and the quitting that happens. Rarely in my career, yes, I've had to fire people. I look back through the years because I've been looking through past photos. I go, oh my gosh, I remember him. You know, he fell asleep on watch a few times, and I said, you can't be trusted on watch. So sometimes you have to shift people around because you don't want them as a watch officer. But if your safe manning document requires that that person do watch, you need to replace them. Not always are people let go because they have bad behavior. Sometimes they're just not fit for the job.
Right. That makes sense. Well, I learned from CaptainSandy'sCharities.org that you are watching this current season of Below Deck. Like, is this the first season you've ever watched in full? Like, or have you watched
No, I
before?
watch them. I try to wait till they pile up because I don't want the cliffhangers. So I wait for episodes to get build up. So I smashed out Captain Kerry's, which is, oh my gosh, the luggage. Let's talk about leaving the luggage. Listen,
Let,
I love Carrie, but the ultimate responsibility, it's on him. You know what I mean? So you can say it's the crew's fault, but the reality is like you got to make sure, yeah, you got the luggage on board. And to be honest, like he has to drive that boat through that bridge 18 times. It isn't normal to be able to, most boats go into that marina and they sit until they get a charter. Then they go out. They don't go in and out every 2 days. Captain Kerry's stress level currently driving that big boat through that bridge is beyond. I'm telling you, like, he needs to drink some chill tea or whatever it is because I would not, I don't, I'm glad I'm not in his shoes in and out of that bridge. So he has that stress level. He has to go out. He has weather constantly. You're in the Caribbean. You have the Christmas winds or, you have the winds all the time. And that area is always windy. So, and I love the cast. I think it's casted perfectly. It's incredible.
You do.
Yeah.
What about, we saw Chef Lawrence left and Chef Anthony came back, who was fired last season. You have given people second chances. Like, as a captain, like, when is enough enough?
Okay. So the chef, again, when I said he's a restaurant chef, right? He's a Michelin star. He's worked in, okay, he is a real chef. He probably has never worked on a boat before. The way they provision isn't normal, right? So below deck, the way they provision isn't normal. No chef could take that stress. It's difficult, especially when you're such a perfectionist like him. He didn't have, he and Carrie did a great job. He supported him. The reality is, I loved how his refrigerators were stocked. I loved how organized he was. His galley was clean in the middle of the chaos, right? He's used to sous chefs. He's used to, you know, people stocking everything for him so he could focus on his art. That's what real chefs do. They're not doing everything they have to do. Put the provisions away. Set this. Chefs are focused on their art. And that's what's difficult about our show. They don't really get a chance. So then you get the chefs that come back in that are complete messes. Look, well, I want you to flash back to the first chef and see how organized. And then, yes, second chances, absolutely. But what a mess, right? So in the chaoticness, somehow he creates. Some people's brains work like that. And the food, we'll see how the rest of the season goes, but
We'll see how it goes. Yes, he is a little bit all over the place.
yeah.
What about in season 11? You came in and replaced Captain Lee and worked with Frasier for half the season. Like, how is Frasier doing, and what was it like working with Frasier?
Fraser's improved. Fraser has definitely, this is his third season, right? So
Yeah,
you could
third or
see
fourth.
the evolution of Fraser. Like when people really care, the show cuts out a lot. They can't fit everything in. There are some moments where when I forgot her name, she's having the panic attack and she's up late with all that mess.
Yeah.
Where are the rest of the team? One of my things is I know I would definitely support that person. I think putting someone in that situation where they're having a panic attack